Whoa! Happy Friday the 13th, Harry.
Before we start today's review, I wanted to give an absolutely special shout out to my friend on YouTube, Sarah Fett. She is a long time and a special friend of mine. She is just an amazing YouTuber and Star Wars fan. She does Star Wars unboxing related videos as well as her own vlogs. Yeah, she's just an awesome, sweet and kind-hearted person, and it's about time I gave her a shout out, so please check her out and sub to her if you haven't already.
Friday the 13th!
The 2009 Friday the 13th reboot, directed by Marcus Nisbel, and tells the story of Jason, the hockey master serial killer himself, who has returned to Camp Crystal Lake, and one night he just goes around absolutely annihilating and slaughtering a group of kids who have camped there, but the only one he spares is Whitney, since she reminds him of his mother in younger form, so he keeps her alive in his lair chained up. And so later on, her brother and a group of other teenagers go out to Camp Crystal Lake to rescue Whitney, as well as get drunk, have sex and party, and just have plain fun, until Jason, of course, finds them and gets them all. So yes, I have never been a huge fan of the Friday the 13th franchise, but I decided, since this Friday is literally Friday the 13th, it's the perfect day to review a Friday the 13th movie for the first time on my channel. And I've never really loved the original Friday the 13th movies. I know they're cult classic horror movies and ideal for Halloween viewing, but I just saw them myself as fun slasher movies to pass the time, but not much else. I felt that they took themselves far too seriously, and I just couldn't care less about the characters in them. You just want to see Jason in those movies, although Chris Stuckman recently did a hilariosity review of Friday the 13th for part 6, and he has a point when he says that movie just had fun with itself, and it works. And Friday the 13th 2009 sadly gets much more hate, I feel, than it deserves, because I actually enjoy the 2009 reboot of Friday the 13th. I don't see any difference between this and the original movies. It's more of the same. I mean, I think the Rotten Tomatoes rating of 25% is way too low and harsh. I do believe that Jason is brought to life here perfectly. He looks so freaking awesome and badass, and he's just a killing machine in this movie. He generally scared the hell out of me, and his screen time and appearances were perfectly handled, I felt. We get enough scenes of him being cool and badass and just cutting kids down in the opening, and then we get plenty of it in the movie's second half and third act of him just being a badass and cutting kids down. So gore fans will be satisfied. The point of a horror movie and its purpose is to scare you, and it did its job all right. And the fact that Jason actually spares somebody makes him more interesting than just a mass murderer. you can tell he has feelings for Whitney, as she's the closest thing that reminds him of his mother, who was a big influence on him in the original story. So yeah, he's now a more compelling character. Yeah, Jason was the one thing this movie got spot on, and the kids. Sure, they have some cliches, like the black and Asian guy being one of the first to be killed off. But that aside, these kids were actually memorable, and these kids actors were legitimately amazing. I felt. Yeah, yeah, these kids I actually wanted to survive. I didn't think they were just there to die, unlike in the originals. I mean, particularly Whitney, she is so strong. How she is just captured and held by Jason for goodness knows how long. That must be such a traumatic experience for anybody, and she survived it. And the kids felt actually likeable. They were doing a good deed, accompanying Whitney's brother to help him find and save. And the kids were actually likeable. They were actually doing a good deed, helping Whitney's brother look for and save his sister. And my favourite of the kids has to be Bree, played by Juliana Gill. Oh, gorgeous actress, and yeah, she was the scene stealer of the kids for me. And the movie is straight up R-rated, which means thankfully it doesn't play it safe. It doesn't. It actually goes the extra mile with the horror elements. There's one scene of involving Bree, when Bree has hardcore nude sex with this guy after getting drunk, and it's awesome and shocking and fun at the same time. Yes, this movie has all that content, and it's awesome. And the first act and third act of this movie are well worth the price of admission. They contain all of the stupendous fun we want to see in a Friday the 13th movie. However, as underrated as I believe this movie is, are there flaws? Yes, there are. So let's get to my negatives. I wouldn't go to the extent of praising this movie as an underrated horror gem, as while the beginning and end of the movie are staggeringly good, the middle is the weakest parts. In my opinion, the middle is just full of slow and boring dialogue and exposition scenes of the kids just doing whatever the hell they do when they come to Camp Crystal Lake. And I'm like, just get to Jason already, just get to finding Whitney already, get to the enjoyable parts, and the setting of the cabin in the woods in the middle of Camp Crystal Lake just felt straight up underwhelming to me, as how many times have we seen a cabin in the woods in a horror movie? I'm like, they could have been more creative than that, and more creepy. This movie looks cheaper than it intends to be. Also, too many of our protagonists and also too many characters get killed off in this movie. Because I loved them and was growing attached to them, I didn't want to see too many of them die. It was hard to watch them just get brutally murdered by Jason. Well, the ones I cared about most. I mean, I know you got to kill off some of them because it's a horror slasher movie, but literally almost everyone dies in this movie. So So yeah, I do believe we should have had more survivors to have a more satisfying ending. And speaking of the ending is it's an instant sudden ending. It's far too abrupt. It leaves little to no closure. It's just Jason jumping out at the lake at Whitney and her brother, who are the only surviving characters, by the way, and the movie ends. That's the ending. Well, talk about an anticlimax. We never even find out if they survived or not, or what happened to Jason. But those negatives are thankfully greatly outweighed by the positives, because granted, I always get a kick out of watching the Friday the 13th reboot every Halloween. To be honest, I enjoy it and prefer it to the original Friday the 13th franchise. Bold statement, but it's true. Now, calm down, fans of the original movies. I'm not saying you have to agree. If you prefer them, that's cool. Kudos to you. I give Friday the 13th, 2009, 3.5 stars out of 5.
I was exceptionally good in this movie, wasn't I, Harry?
You totally rule, Jason Buzzy. I don't know who I'd rather meet, Freddy or Jason. And since Halloween's upcoming, I might review Nightmare on Elm Street soon. Just a hint at a future video. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. What do you think of the 2009 Friday the 13th? Please comment, let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google Plus and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.